I saw Representative Steckman was here. This would be a question for her and Senator Reagan if they were to talk about what is the official way of getting our information out now. You know, I read on a blog the other day that said that, well, it was called Lee, W-E-E Watch, Lee Watch. And it's obviously, it's an employee of Lee Watch who owns our Globe Gazette, said that probably in 5 years there's a good chance they're not going to really have the printed paper, possibly. Maybe just once a week, and the rest is going to be on the internet. Well, I think the other reading that we do, we see that things are going over to the internet, going to paperless, just as we've talked about at City Hall. So, which leads me to say the other thing, for an official newspaper, they've sure made some incredibly bad mistakes here reporting on what we do at the council level, especially specifically on me with the vote with the adult clubs. Totally wrong. I guess I don't have any respect for that and how it was corrected either. I should have been offered a chance to write an opinion about it or whatever, but that didn't happen. And so it leads me to say also there is another alternative newspaper in the community, and that's NorthIowaToday.com. And they're just 3 months old, working hard. I know they feel like they're being boycotted by some at this table and stuff. But I like what they're doing, I see what they're doing, and I like their style. So I'm just grappling with that this is the official, I'm not sure. And in the Globe's memo, it does mention that it is www.globegazette.com, that they will publish it free, I guess, online. But they charge for their print. So I'm not sure, you know, how hard we looked at, is there another newspaper? We certainly could talk about Saragordo County, but I think we're specifically talking about Mesa City Council and their minutes, so Mesa City. And I just wanted to share that with you, that we do have another news source in the community. He's been coming here, sits here every night, does his thing. I really appreciate it. I can't imagine how hard the work that is and that endeavor, but that's a new business in our community too. So I'm not going to avoid that or blackball that or not mention it here tonight. So I'm going to vote no tonight on the Globe Gazette as my official newspaper, and that's why I couldn't make the motion, I think. I think we determined that.
That was very astute of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Reaver, anybody else? Mr. Marsters?
Wow. Mr. Trout, I think you can answer this better than any of us, or maybe the city attorney, but by law, doesn't some of the things by law require to be printed?
Yes.
And so we have no real choice because it's the local and only newspaper by law. I mean, because it has to be in print, we have no real alternative. So that's why it's the way it is.
And it has been debated at the State House as to making some changes to allow people to be able to do online.
But at this point,
it's not been approved yet.
I didn't know
at this
that.
point, it'd be kind of crazy to put it in the Clear Lake Mirror, which is printed once a week. I mean, it could be done, but the local newspaper is the Globe Gazette.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Marsters, anybody else on here? Mr. Strong, please.
Yeah, on this, I do tend to be a little bit more like-minded with you, Max. I circled it, but I also wrote okay, which means I wasn't going to take the lead. But since we have the opportunity here, I think I too will vent a little bit, and I want to share some information from my perspective with the community. Your vote was misrepresented, and also we had 2 weeks ago a vote that was reported as a 6-0 vote on security at City Hall, and that was actually a 4-2 vote. So all I would ask of the Globe Gazette, and this isn't directed at any individual, I would ask of the Globe Gazette just to be very careful when you publish council votes, because people read that and it gets people excited, and it needs to be accurate. The issue that I have with the Globe Gazette, and I discussed this with Joe Buttweiler back when he was the editor, is one with the op-ed pieces. You know, tonight ends 5 years on the council for me, and or it ends basically my 5th year. And I have never been contacted by the Globe Gazette editorial board for any background on any of their op-ed pieces. Twice I've been referenced. Those 2 times I contacted the editorial board on issues that I thought were important, and I wanted to make sure that I was accurately portrayed. It really troubles me that the Globe Gazette, on a regular basis, issues op-ed pieces, and a lot of people in the community take those as gospel. What the editorial board is 4 or 5 people that work at the paper that come together and form their collective opinion. It's no different than picking any 4 editorial pieces that happen to be in the paper and throwing them together and stirring it up and coming out with a composite. And just because the local paper has 4 people that happen to work there that have an opinion, that doesn't mean it's gospel, and it doesn't mean that it's accurate, and it doesn't mean that it has any basis in fact. You know, I challenged, the one that I challenged Buttweiler on was when he came after the community. If you remember, a year and a half ago, there was a bomb threat at the high school, and some of us as parents, myself included, decided to keep our kids home for that day. That doesn't mean they were playing. My kids were at the kitchen table doing homework all day, as if they were in school. But that was my choice and my prerogative as a parent to do what I thought was safest for my family, and I didn't appreciate being challenged from somebody that didn't have kids at that particular school. Yeah, he's got kids in the school system, but he didn't have them at that school. And I said, you know, in general, what is your rationale? How do you collect information to write your op-ed pieces? And he said, well, you know, and I challenged him because I said, you never contact me. I don't know if you contact my colleagues or not, but I don't understand that. He says, well, we don't really feel like we need to because we've got reporters that cover all the meetings. Well, and I mean absolutely no disrespect, but think about it, that's a filter. That's a filter. Because no matter what we say is perceived by the person receiving the message. Well, good, bad, or indifferent, every one of us is a filter when we speak and when we talk. And so number one, there's a filter that we've got 4 or 5 people at the Globe Gazette using, and then they bring their own personal biases and life experiences in after the original message has already been filtered. To me, that's just insane. I struggle. I mean, I can't tell you, it must, once or twice a week, I say to my wife, okay, can we cancel our subscription now?
Amen.
No, we cannot. And actually, she's right, because I need that information, because I need to know what's out there in the community for when I get the phone calls. But I don't like a lot of what I read, and a lot of times it's not accurate. So all I'm asking of the community is understand that everything you read has been filtered, and it's not always through nobody's fault. It may not be representative of what each of the 6 or 7 of us up here are thinking. Thanks.
Very good, very good.
Anybody else down here? Ms. Silver, excuse me.
I just want to make a correction on what Mr. Tornquist just said. The vote for the security at City Hall, he said was 4-2. I wasn't here, so it had to be something other than 4-2.
3-2.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Thank you. Mr. Marsters.
Well, I just have a follow-up. I didn't know this was Bash the Globe. I thought this was all about legal information that's printed in the Globe Gazette. I mean, I'm not always happy with everything I read in the Globe Gazette or any other newspaper. But anyways, thank you.
Anybody else in response?
All right.
Clerk call roll.
Marsters,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Solberg,
Yes.
Weaver,
No.
Tornquist,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, council.